Welcome back to your Daily Dose. My name is Robert here with Matthew. We're talking all things What I Didn't Say, Matthew's play that is being developed into a screenplay to become a major feature motion picture. Yes, we're when we talk about that, and again, I keep teasing it, but don't worry, we'll get to that. I want to make sure it's clear that, we're the approach we're taking. Well, I guess we're going to do it now because I'm saying it. The approach we're taking, and Matthew, I want you to run with this because I heard you say, is to really tell a Parkinson's story that reframes, redefines, and reinvigorates not just people with Parkinson's, but people across the board about health. Like the way we're approaching Parkinson's is I think to show it as an everyman's disease, because even if you don't have it, there's enough humanity in the way it's being presented to say, whoa, we're talking about a redefinition of engagement with health. I think that's what I see in this.
Yeah. I think the iceberg metaphor really is apt. This idea that my understanding of Parkinson's as an outsider, not at the moment, but before I was diagnosed, like old white man shaky disease. And that's what people see. That's what people take in. And so my grandpa shakes, he might have Parkinson's. But we've got this iceberg, and that's a real apt metaphor because there's a huge body of things going on underneath the surface that people don't see and don't connect with the disease. And even to go see a neurologist, what are they focused on? They have me walk up and down the hallway, and then they give me, they prescribe medication. So nothing against neurologists, but when I see a mental health therapist, that combination of sharing things that are on my heart and my mind, and that connection there is becomes really critical.
Yeah. And by the way, part of your treatment to a degree, and this is, I think, also what's coming through the screenplay, is engaging creatively in your work, not only meeting with the mental health therapist, but doing something with it. Because a lot of people struggle with showing up to the office with their mental health therapist and not having that transfer into their lives. You've made part of the transfer happen through the act of creativity. In other words, the not only writing of the play, the performance of it, the adaptation of it into a screenplay. You're continuing to see this evolve and therefore engaging in the things that are being spoken of in the mental health therapist world that you're engaging in, correct?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've taken a lot of steps forward in unknown territory, right? And so even this idea that I'm going to write a play, I told so many people that I'm going to write a play that I had to write a play, so which was good for me. So it's one of those things. And even the stand-up comedy, I'm like, I'm going to tell enough people that I'm going to do stand-up comedy about Parkinson's that I have to do it. And so to write it and bring it to life and all those things becomes you're right, the doing of it, the determination, the goal setting, the planning. PWP, I'm a person with Parkinson's. Forget that. I'm a person with plans.
Yeah, I like that. By the way, speaking of your stand-up, I saw a clip that you posted the other day where you seem to be almost teasing the response to you doing stand-up about Parkinson's. Like, ooh, could this be dangerous? I don't know. You better show up.
It is, yeah. People
Well,
have no idea what I'm going to say or do, and what is this about? And so I think that's fantastic. That is a very fun place to be at. What is
yeah.
this going to be like?
Well, stand up is terrifying. I've done it too, and I mean, it's been a long time. And at one point, I keep saying maybe I'll go back into it because I love the art form. I love seeing it done well. I've seen it done poorly a lot. I've done it poorly a lot. I think that's part of the process, most process. At the same time, when you talk about engaging both with yourself and others, you're about as naked as can be. You and the mic and the audience. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's wow. It's unlike anything I've experienced. So there's a huge high when it goes well, and then there's this huge sort of trepidation walking into it. But to hear people laugh, to hear a crowd laugh about something regarding Parkinson's to me is tremendously fulfilling. It's just, maybe there's not a lot of laughs at this point, but I'm working on it, and it's very fulfilling work to hear
Yeah.
people see the absurdity. I'll call it that, the absurdity of the disease sometimes. Yeah. What disease makes you take medication 6 times a day? There's an absurdity to that.
There's a lot of it, and by the way, absurdity is one of my favorite factions of comedy, and basically just the human experience, by the way, because it does just what you said. It allows us to poke the pin at the balloon that, you know, can crowd us out of our own lives. We can feel like, oh my god, and absurdity just goes, oh, okay, let me come back, because otherwise, you know, we can be just totally, you know, shoved out of what should be our lives, right?
That's exactly what my philosophy is, that to laugh at Parkinson's, I have to separate from it. I have to
Mm-hmm.
pull back and see it, you know, down a hallway kind of thing. And so that's what I hope happens. People separate, because if I'm wallowing in it, it's not funny.
So, okay, we're going to talk about that next, because that's that phrase that you gave me and I'd heard before, but for whatever reason, you gave it to me within the cinema therapy class when you were taking it, and I've not let go of it since, which is aesthetic distance. We're going to come back and talk about that, the power of it, and how we can encourage others to have that approach that you're walking and talking with. Because I agree, I think it's very important. See you on the next dose.